And we continue on with the Real Estate Radio Show featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group. By the way, if you want to get a hold of the folks with Chris Lofthus, it's 350-6228, 350-6228. As we took the time out, we were kind of teasing you, if you will, with this secret list. Chris, you made some great points when you first dreamed this up. You said, well, we have people that, A, they don't want their neighbors knowing they're selling their house.
Right.
They don't want their family. Maybe in some case they don't want their kids knowing. And maybe they just kind of want to look and see what's out there. Explain how you get on the secret list and exactly how that works.
Yeah, I mean, you can reach out to us and get on the website, and there's a place there you can sign up on for contacting us right on the website there. But basically, what it is, it's a list of properties that aren't obviously on the market that we know about. There's a lot of realtors have a lot of pocket listings, but we've decided to create this secret list, the Chris Lofthus Group secret list, as a tool to marry people up, buyers and sellers. Sellers, especially sellers with kids. People don't want people calling them, coming through their house, but they do want to sell. And so when we get the situation where you say, for example, you call me and you and Claudia say, we don't want to put the house in the market. We want $400,000 for it, whatever the number is, and then we come out. We'll even take photos.
I'm good with 400.
Well, we'll take photos of the house. We'll keep it, and then we'll just keep it on file. And then when we get a buyer that can't find something that meets their needs, or your house does meet their needs, we just kind of marry the two up.
And I think a big piece where that works, and we talked with your good buddy that came in from San Diego to visit. He says, "Yeah, I'm going to move here someday." Mm-hmm. When you get calls from out of state, it seems to me like that secret list is perfect for that.
Yeah, it is, because people, right now there's not a whole lot of inventory out there, and you start pulling off the new construction and you pull off the houses that are overpriced or that aren't in very good condition. We don't have a whole lot of houses out there, so it's kind of a nice tool to, like I said, marrying people up. But it's a nice tool, especially if you get on our website, you give us your parameters of what you want, and we might have something for you.
Yeah, Van Carlson still in the studio with us. Van, what's your, and this is not official, it's unofficial, but what's your thoughts on real estate? Because we keep, I keep telling Claudia, maybe we should just buy that little piece of land, small piece, and then build later on. We still have our house, but what's and then Chris, you've been talking about how there's a line to get the $100,000, $125,000 house, the speculators, if they will. What's kind of your feel on that?
It's funny you bring that up, actually, because Dustin, my son, he's 23, and he's kicking around buying a house for the first time, and I think it's great. I didn't own a house when I was 23, so I think it's good for him, and he's getting some opportunity there. I think the low interest rates right now really pushes. If you can afford a $1,500 a month payment on a rental, you should really be looking at buying right now, because there's probably going to be no better opportunity to lock in a long-term debt at 3 to 4%. Could be. If you're in your 20s and 30s, could be the best interest rate you're ever going to see in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
For us, if we're in our 40s, I guarantee you it's the best interest rate we're ever going to get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the point is, too, like his son's considering it, and right now, first-time home buyers, 3.25% down FHA, and you talk about that, you buy a $200,000 house, and you come up with $7,000 or whatever, to get into a house. And like he said, too, rents are so high right now that you're surely going to beat, the rent on the house. Almost every deal we do now, when we see the final numbers, almost every deal would pencil as a rental. Even historically doesn't happen with regular residential houses,
Well, we're always looking at supply and demands in our economy, and one of the things that, obviously the demands are coming on those lower price homes. The interesting thing is going to be we got great low interest rates. Incomes are up in Idaho. Mm-hmm. What's going to be interesting is down the road here when the federal government starts to step in and start coming in with programs for people that have walked away from their homes 2-3 years ago or short sales. That could put a demand on some of these housing prices. So if you're in a position to buy a house today and you're kind of just waiting, there's nothing to wait for. It's time to get into it. And because a year, 2 years from now, especially when we get past this election year, there's going to be programs coming out. They're going to help stabilize the pricing in other parts of the country. That they're going to bring programs out. They're going to help people that have walked away from their homes, that were homeowners 2-3 years ago. They want to make them homeowners again. And Idaho's not the problem. It's going to be in much higher density areas. So, again, that's going to put pressure on interest rates. It's going to put pressure on a lot of things. So if you're waiting, specifically in this state, in this valley, I don't know why you're waiting.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Right, and that's exactly what's happening too. And I think that's on the buy side. I think that the buyers are coming out of the woodworks, but then they're looking, and then they're saying, "Oh man, the sellers are really kind of holding tight on their prices," and then it puts us at that stalemate. But people need to understand that these interest rates. I said this before. I really kind of wish the federal government came out and said, "Oh, we're not going to change rates for 2 more years." Well, what does that do to everybody? Just everyone. Well, I don't need to be in a big hurry to buy a house. So, you look at that. But I always said, some people listen that wouldn't like this, but I think if the federal government raised rates, by a couple points for a couple months and then lowered them back down, I think you'd see a whole change in everyone's attitude towards buying and making that decision.
Yeah, Chris Lofthus for president. How do you like that? Okay, so Chris, that being said, we just got a couple of minutes. Let's look at some of the opportunities out there. I know we talked about the waterfront district. It was really getting tight down there. I think you'd sold 3. Any chance of you building more down there? What's going on?
Yeah, you know what? We have, for example, and just talk about how things are changing, like the waterfront district. We talked about, 3 months ago, we sold the first one for $220, and the last one, I think we sold at $250, and we have it under contract at $269. So, we've sold 3. We have 3 more under construction down there on the river, and we got a couple more lots left. So we're almost going to be out of there, but a lot of activity there. A couple subdivisions we have that we're getting underway in Meridian as well. One on Eagle Road, Bristol Place, really nice. We're gonna put some RV garages in there, $200,000 price range. We have Wyndham, which we've got. We sold 1 in there, and we have 2 more. We have 1 done, and then 2, another 1 under construction. So we're just going to build those out. And if you want, you can always get on our website and check out what we're doing. And we're always adding new listings every day.
All right, Van. Before we go, give us your website and how folks can reach out to you.
Website conciergelegacy.com. That's the best way to reach us. Obviously, we're always available on phone. Those 275-8875. And they do want to. It's a great white paper on the fiscal cliff. I think it's very informative. And if you guys want it, just reach out to us via our website, and we'll make sure we get a copy out to you.
All right. Chris, how do you like folks to reach out to you?
You can always go on the website, chrisloftus.com. My email, chris@CLG, that's Chris Loftus Group, eagle.com. Or you can call my cell phone, 514-5003.
All right. Annette, thanks for all your hard work again. We'll be back next week. Burton Freeze is going to drop in. We're going to make sure your building is done before January 1. We want it done on December 1. All right. So long, everybody. You've been listening to the Real Estate Radio Show featuring Chris Loftus of the Chris Loftus Group at Keller Williams Realty Boise. Kim Commando is next.